Hello everyone, this is the BoobTube movie review. Alright, I'm joking. I was gonna go for a Philly D approach with this intro, but the truth be told, I'm in the car, I'm out and about around town, and I figured might as well just do the review bra one. And you may be asking yourselves, why am I in the car to begin with? Well, I got some folks over at my place right now, and my mini studio is currently their napping place as a second room for them. So I have to work with what I got. So I kind of figured I might as well just be out and about and also doing the vlog as well. Speaking of vlogs, I just got back from finally watching Tomb Raider, and the newest Tomb Raider. And I will have to say that this is actually quite the refresher, especially after the Angelina Jolie flicks. Now, let me iterate. A lot of people have been criticizing this movie, saying it's really bad or something, but I don't think it's that bad. I mean, truth be told, this is actually loosely based off of the 2013 video game of Tomb Raider, which is a bit of a reboot where we get to see more of a origin story with Lara Croft herself. And this movie pretty much delivers on that origin story. And unlike the Angelina Jolie flicks, where everything was all campy, video gamey, and cartoony, and they travel to 5 different locations in each of the movies, this one is a little bit more grounded. A little bit. And by that I mean this focuses more on Lara Croft, played by Alicia Vikander, if I'm saying that right, from Ex Machina. And in this one, she inherits her father's fortune and comes across an old camcorder from like 15-year-old camcorder or something like that, which apparently it works still, and discovers an ancient temple ruin. So she decides to boat ride her way over to this island, which so happens to have a whole bunch of bad guys who happen to be looking for this temple as well. And of course, a lot of stuff happens along the way and a few other things. Now, right off the bat, I will have to say that, like I said before, people have given this movie a lot of crap, but at the same time, I thought it was really okay. You know, it was not terrible, but it wasn't great either. The actress herself, Alicia Vikander, she does pretty well for herself, carrying the role as the reboot Laura. But at the same time, there are times where she kind of overacts a little bit with her role, with her character role and everything else. And I thought it was a little too much at times. And there's also this villain in this movie, Matthias Vogel, if I'm saying that correctly, played by Walter Goggins. And I will have to say, it's always refreshing to see Walter Goggins in different roles. Most of the time he usually is typecasted as a villain, but this one kind of works for himself. He's not exactly terrible, but he is a little bit obsessive with this character role, and evil, as in he would use his guns just to shoot off, kill random slaves or something like that, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, he was very okay. There were a whole bunch of other side actors and small characters who weren't really wasted. Most of them, mostly the goons and whatnot, were pretty much just throwaway characters where they get killed off during the tomb stuff. Yeah, and as for everything else, there was a lot of good scenes in here, and this, especially when it came to just traveling to one location and to one tomb to explore and everything else. There are times where the CG was okay, not a whole lot of practical effects in here, but the CG for a lot of the action stunts where Laura has to climb out of a busted plane, or has to come off it's pretty noticeable. I mean, what I'm getting at with the CG work and all that stuff. And then there's other times where the character Laura herself gets thrown around like a ragdoll and gets more abused by the environment than the actual villains themselves. There are times where she gets smacked around by tree branches, hit by rocks, and other things which to any other normal person would receive fractures and broken bones and all that stuff. But in this particular case, since it's an action movie, it's pretty much just a few cuts on the cheek, arm, and of course one small shrapnel stab wound, and that's about it. But it is your typical action movie, so you pretty much have to expect this sort of thing where your main character is pretty much as tough as bricks, despite being a normal human being. And unlike the other Tomb Raider movies where they do a lot of supernatural and mythic stuff, this one, like I said before, is a bit more grounded, so they do more simplified things when it comes to the tomb and ancient ruins and stuff like that. There are a couple of twists in this movie, one midway through the movie, which I don't want to spoil it, but it was a little bit of a surprise, but it was also pretty obvious if you ask me. And then there was also another twist near the end of the movie, which was extremely obvious, which I kind of figured from a mile away. And then there was also this end credits scene where they build everything up for a part 2 sequel and whatnot. So depending on how it goes over the weekend, and of course, you know, how the box office numbers go, maybe there is a possibility for a sequel, but to be honest with you, I'm not really holding my breath. But as for now, the movie itself is fairly decent. It's a huge step up from the Angelina Jolie flicks, like I said before, and of course, it's also quite enjoyable for the typical video game fan or die-hard action fan. And with that said, I would have to give this movie a 3 out of 5 stars. Which is enjoyable for the most part, but I wouldn't recommend going at the matinee price. Maybe just wait until it comes out on DVD or something so you can buy it or rent it or something like that. And I think that pretty much concludes it. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I will go back to the green screen probably in the next video or so, depending on how long my friends are going to stay at my place. But with that said, if you guys have anything to comment about this movie, let me know in the description box below. Or comment box below. I do apologize. Like I said, running errands in between. And if you guys like to support my channel in any way, feel free to like, subscribe, share, and all that other fun junk. If you guys have any requests for yourselves, feel free to hit me up on Patreon for the $1 a month club as well. So, where I take any and all requests for the right price. And with that said, I will see you all next time.